My name is Ariston, and on this channel I showcase myself doing data science, math, and software development. This video is an introduction to the channel for new viewers and a channel update for current subscribers, so I hope you enjoy. I'll be going over the following content in this video, starting with the channel update. If you're an older subscriber, you've probably noticed that all my old posts are gone, and that's because I've unlisted them. The reason I've done this is just because I felt they were very meta and very weird for people that weren't me. Up until now, I've really just made the content for myself and didn't really care about the viewer experience that much. And whenever people would ask to see my channel, I'd shy away from the topic because I knew they wouldn't understand the quirks of my content, such as the memes and the jokes. So, moving forward, I'll try harder to be more organized with the content I put out so that each video is one I'm proud to show colleagues, friends, and family. My name is Pietro Ariston. I'm 23 from Auckland, New Zealand. I have a bachelor's degree in computer sciences, majoring in data science, and I finished my degree in October. I got into the world of data science over 3 years ago when a colleague in the office told me about a Google certificate he was doing on analytics, as at the time he wanted to switch roles into data, and so when I eventually left that job, I ended up doing that same certificate for a couple of months, not knowing what I was getting myself into. I found it very interesting and eventually decided to take it up at university, and since then, data science and software development have played a big part in my life. Currently, I'm developing a full stack proof of concept dashboard application for a multinational marketing agency. As Scrum Master of a team of 6, I've managed the project for the past 14 weeks and have led the development of our data pipeline architecture and front-end application. My technical background spans 5 key areas within data science. For data manipulation, I work primarily with Python, Pandas, and SQL. I also use these tools for exploratory and statistical analysis. For visualization, I build dashboards and reports in Tableau. From an engineering perspective, I have experience building data pipelines and working with cloud-based infrastructure, including Google Cloud Run, BigQuery, various Google APIs, and setting up CI/CD workflows using GitHub Actions. Lastly, while I'm still building confidence in this area, I have hands-on experience building machine learning models using scikit-learn and PyTorch through university and personal projects of mine. I also really like math, if that's not a given for anyone wanting to become a data scientist. I really love understanding what I'm doing, and if it means that I need to devote 6 months or a whole year of spare time to learning the necessary calculus or linear algebra, just to understand how a neural network works from top to bottom, I will literally do that. I'm personally interested in calculus, linear algebra, and classical machine learning, as these weren't really covered by my education, yet I know that these are fundamental skills to being an ML engineer or data scientist. I want to keep growing as a developer. Don't really need to explain why here. I just love coding and writing programs, and it's also a core part of doing data science stuff or machine learning. Outside of data science and all this dorky stuff, I have other hobbies too. I have a life. Before I was into all this math stuff, I worked as a photographer and also had a portrait photography business, doing weddings, model shoots, and whatnot. As a kid, I loved video editing, motion graphics, and graphic design. I wasn't particularly into math or science as a kid, but since then that's changed. I also love making jewelry. I wasn't a very hands-on guy for most of my life. I've always been terrible at working with tools, but doing jewelry reminded me that, like anything, you can improve if you really want to. But I'm not doing jewelry so much right now because it takes up a lot of time. I'm also into fitness and training. In particular, I do calisthenics but don't have photos of that. My life right now centers around study, data science, work, and training. All my time awake is spent doing one of those 4 things: eating food, brushing my teeth, or having a shower. In the East, we uphold values like patience, honesty, and devotion, because we acknowledge their importance for growing as an individual and growing as a society. More specifically, I try my best to be patient and honest with myself in everything I do, and I try to be the same kind of person I'd love to work with, someone that can be patient with others, reliably honest with others, and also shares a mutual devotion to their cause. And that could be anything, training, data science, programming, whatever really. So I've said enough about me. The content of this channel is pretty much just going to be long-form content of me studying or doing projects for my own interests. I don't think I'll ever be famous or really have that big of a following doing this, but That's not the point of this channel anyways. I know that most people won't watch me or want to watch me doing calculus for 2 hours straight. So you're probably wondering, why do I have to post my study sessions? There There are two reasons. One is accountability. This channel is basically a logbook of my study sessions. It's good to have this data on hand so I can tell when I've been slacking or when I've been doing a good job at learning in my spare time. It's like fitness. If you have a detailed logbook of your workouts and what you eat, then you can confidently say if you have or haven't been following your training program or diet as well as you should be. Study to me is exactly like training, but for the brain. You won't magically see results if you let the ball stop rolling. Secondly, when I go the extra mile to monologue what I'm learning or doing, I almost immediately find out what the gaps in my knowledge are. It's easy to realize that I can't explain certain things as clearly as I need to or would like to because I just don't know certain subjects well enough. And these are insights that I don't get if I'm just sitting quietly and solving problems in my own head. Trying to explain things with the intent to be very clear and understandable is such a good way to know what the weaknesses in your current understanding are. And it's also a good way to improve your articulation, which of course is important when you work with others. Just to close off the video, I want to say thank you if you've watched my whole trailer. I'll be uploading on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, but if I miss uploads, I'll still be sticking to the schedule. So thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you in my comment section sometime.